If you guys are looking for some cheap coins on FC25, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're fast, cheap, and reliable. And if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So, what's up guys, it's Ash here, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now, in today's video guys, we have my updated tactics and player roles for the 4-2-3-1 wide, my personal favourite formation in FC25. I've said this quite a few times. Out of all of the formations in this game, the one I've had the most personal enjoyment with and the most success with is this 4-2-3-1 wide. So I'm hoping this can help you out guys, and yeah, with all that aside guys, let's get right into today's video. Okay then guys, so starting off with the tactics for the preset, ensure you do have it on custom. This is so you can make all of the changes that you need. If you don't use custom, you won't be able to make all those modifications and you'll be a bit more restricted. So just make sure you are on custom so you can change whatever. And then the formation we're using, like I said, is the 4-2-3-1 wide. So this is the one with the left mid and the right mid, not the three cams. This is so we can use all of the player roles we want. You can't get the correct roles with the 4-2-3-1 narrow. Now for the build-up style guys, this is one thing I've actually changed. I've been using short passing with the 4-2-3-1 wide because I found it a bit easier to build up because my players are a bit closer together and there's not so many players always darting in. For the most part, I would say you guys could probably use balance because I think it's a bit more reliable, but with how I've been playing recently, I've just been enjoying passing it around a bit more and, you know, working a chance. So I've been using short passing, but balanced is also super viable and I would probably recommend that for the majority. But yeah. For the defensive approach, I've changed this to 75, so it's quite a high line. The reason I like the high approach as opposed to aggressive or balanced is because you still have that higher line, but your players don't always press. So, you know, you still have a bit more control. When you use aggressive, guys, your players kind of just press relentlessly and you don't have a lot of control, and you can get cooked as a result. And then balance just feels a bit too open for my liking. So I've just gone for 75, but it is important to pick what you guys want to use. For the player roles, guys, without the ball, obviously, this is what it looks like. It will always defend in that base formation. That's how tactics work this year. So without the ball, it will always defend in the formation that you've based your tactics off. And then more interestingly, with the ball, this is more what it looks like. So let's just quickly go through it and explain why I use what I use. So on the striker, I use advanced forward. The reason I like advanced forward is because it means they're going to be a nice, well-rounded striker. So as you can see, the description actually says a versatile attacker, which means sometimes they will make runs and other times they will come closer for a short pass and stuff like that. So it's just really nice and well rounded. That's why I personally like advanced forward, and obviously if you can get the role plus or plus plus, that's even better. But you guys can also use something like poacher, which is also very effective. It just means they'll be more focused on always scoring those goals. But advanced forward for me works really well. For the central cam guys, I pop them on playmaker. Personally, I think this is the best role. I love playmaker because I feel like they're the most creative on this role. They always find themselves in space to get on the ball and help break down the opponent. A lot of the play will go through the central player here. So I love playmaker, but I know some people want to use shadow striker, which is also a really good option, which means these players will also make runs and act like secondary strikers. So shadow striker is also viable, but I use playmaker. For the right mid and the left mid guys, wide playmaker is a really, really good role. They kind of play like the old right attacking mids and left attacking mids from the 4-2-3-1 narrows in previous games. So I really like this. They get into really nice positions. Sometimes they're out wide, other times they go into more narrow areas. So I really like using the wide playmaker role, which is something I do truly recommend. For the two DMs guys, I think holding's the best, to be honest, because they kind of act like guardians in front of those defenders. So if we're to lose out on possession, we've got those two DMs there to break up the play and regain possession. But also when we're on the ball, it's always nice to have those two players just sitting there so you can back pass and keep control of the ball and stuff like that. It really does help with control in the general build-up and stuff like that. So I think two holding DMs is probably the best for the 4-2-3-1. And then for the fullbacks, I would advise using double wing back if you can, so both left back and right back being wing backs. The reason for this is because the 4-2-3-1, as we've got it set up, is not always the widest. You know, even though they're called wide playmakers, sometimes they can be quite narrow. So it's nice to have wing backs to really stretch out the opposition defence. and it allows for like easy switches of play and stuff like that. So wingback's probably the best to go with. It's not actually too it's not much of a liability defensively either. Like if you lose out on possession, you won't really notice it because they get back quite quickly and stuff like that. But you can see here with my left back, I have them on fullback. The only reason I've done this is because they've got the plus of fullback, and they don't have anything for wingback. So I think wingback, double wingback is probably the best. But for example, if you're like me and you have somebody that has fullback plus, you can use that as well. For the 2 centre backs, I use defender. I think it's the most reliable, and the goalkeeper, I just have them on goalkeeper. But yeah, guys, they are my tactics and roles for the 4-2-3-1 wide. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to drop this video a thumbs up, sub to the channel if you're new, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Take care.